Welcome to session 5, everybody. Today we are going to have a look at a little assignment. Let me just change this to be a student so it looks the same as yours. I did add this extra little activity here since last week. Um, so I added it there because I wasn't sure if we're going to use it. But I decided, that was the other day, I decided today we probably want to have time to actually do the whole thing. So I changed things a little bit around. I'll show you what that is. All right. I had an idea in the back of my head of what we should be doing, um, and I'm not sure how we're going to go with time. And as you know, I'm running this for the first time, so I don't know how it all goes. I can only guess. So let's see. What I have put in here is this, and you've seen this before, I think. This little floor plan here. So I was thinking we went into a lot of trouble of learning a few commands, and I thought, well, it would be nice to draw even such a little small little house with a little plan view, just so we can put everything into practice. So I sort of looked at it and thought, well, that will probably take us about 3 lessons to do. To probably not even to put the dimensions on, just to draw it up. So I thought what we can do is, then I decided to do something else. I mean, feel free to draw that in your own time if you want, but I'm thinking maybe at the end we can come back and draw it if we have time, rather than sort of stealing time off our assignment, which is basically under the assessment task. Here is what we're supposed to be doing. This thing here, this floor plan of the kitchen, the elevations here. What I did do though, and that was only today, it may be a silly idea, I don't know. I'm happy to get input from you. In here, what you can see here in the assessment, there's a procedure document, which I've been through very quickly, tidied up a little bit. There are some issues still with it, but I really didn't have time to modify everything. I did make some sort of wholesale changes, but there might be some more fine tuning to be done. So that's the procedure document. So it's basically just almost step by step. So then we've got these videos here. Now these videos here were made by a brilliant lecturer a year ago, I think, to supplement what was not there already, which was nothing there. It was just that. So these are really good, very quick 2.5 minutes sort of videos of how to get you on your way to do those floor plans, and they're great. Love them. What the changes are, I want to make a little are elsewhere. So these videos are probably really good to look at still. But what was down here was a starting file, which I now called option 1. So basically this is a blank sheet. And then option 2 is starting with that drawing you saw, but without the dimensions. It's got the doors, the windows, and the layout of where the kitchen is. So it happened that when I created that project for another class, I created it with this class in mind. And by that, I mean, I created this kitchen to be exactly the same size as your project kitchen. Because by then I was thinking having an abstract little corner of a house to me wasn't really I wanted you to see it in more context, I think, with the rest of the house. So I just did that and I threw that in there. So I built the rest of this house around that kitchen actually. So let's go and see. So yeah, so what I'm saying here is, so I suppose the other class is a bit of a guinea pig. But anyway, what it says here is that please, well, first it says, start the assessment, download one of the AutoCAD files below, option 1 or 2, copy it to your project folder and rename it with your initials as per instructions in the procedure document, which you can see. Basically put your initials on the end of it, no big deal. It says here, please refer to videos in the live class recordings, which is this one section, as we will be customizing the set of drawings this semester to be slightly different to the final output shown below for previous semesters, regardless if choosing option 1 or 2. So there's going to be some customization. The major thing, which is a little thing, but it's a major thing, is the dimension style that I'm changing. So but also saying, if you reproduce exactly as previous semesters, you will not be penalized at all. Your work will be perfectly acceptable for assessment purposes. Okay, so if you decided to ignore all of that and just said, yeah, I'm just going to give you one of these plans, exactly how that is, even with the wrong dimensions, then that's fine. All right. The reason I'm changing dimensions is because in the AS 1100, I think there should be a tick, not an arrow for architectural work. All right. So that's one thing that I think is important. So I'm doing that. So that's all right. So the new, even the new blank file, it has the new dimension style in there. So even if you started dimensioning, it'll probably come out right anyway, but it won't look like, obviously it won't look like that unless you went into out of your way to pick the wrong one. So anyway, either way, it's not a problem. Also, the text needs to be on top of the line, not in the middle of the line, things like that. Little things like that I picked up. So I'm just trying to, I suppose, improve it as we're going along. All right, so continuous improvement. All right, so that's the floor plans that are supplied as a guide to us at this point. So you've got to reproduce something similar to that. Look, we did have a student last year who actually, because although I wasn't taking the class, I had external classes. So another lecturer was doing it. I was marking it for them. So I get to do this now, so which is good. But yeah, this other student actually handed in a totally different kitchen altogether because she thought that this was just a little exercise that I was doing in the class, and she went along and did a bigger kitchen, more complicated, as her project, which I think that's great. I didn't have a problem with that. And I actually also believe that I think this should be a little activity, and you go and pick your own thing and just do do something, like go for your life, do what you want. But anyway, at this point, that's how it is. Coming next semester might be different, but yes, if you want to, yeah, I don't have a problem with that. If you want to, as long as you have the same amount of complexity in it. Look, we're changing it on the fly, aren't we? But if you've got an idea, yes. Oh, you got another subject, yeah. Okay, okay, yeah. So okay, that's very interesting. So this other subject you're doing has a kitchen in it, and what do you have to do for that? Oh, so you're trying to work out, as in spatial planning, as in like where to put the fridge and all that. What's the ergonomic way? Yeah, yeah. I did that when I was doing the course. That was brilliant. That was the best thing. Yes. Okay. So that's your kitchen. Is that your own home kitchen, for example, that you did, or client brief? Yeah, yeah. So you you choose a layout, right? Is everyone's going to be different, or yeah, right, right. Oh, I'm going to have a hard time marking all this stuff. Yeah, sure. Look, yeah, no, you can ask, and I can just say yes or no, can't I? Yeah. So yes, it's a yes. Yeah, yeah. So one yes, we need two more. That's all right. No, it's a yes. So if you who else has a kitchen like that they want to do? The only thing is, I mean, we give you some blocks and things. So we'll have like a stove and an oven. I'm sorry, an oven and yeah, we have a cooktop free. So in the blocks, but if you want to need something else, sorry, so customize the what? Oh yeah, if you know how to do it, yeah, you just go into the blog. I can help you and just change it, or you can download your own. I can send you an email of a couple of websites that have things, and you can yeah do that. So who else would be interested in doing? Who else is doing that subject, for example? You're doing it? Yeah. Anyone else? You on? Yeah. All right. But the rest of you might do something else or might do this. Yeah. So yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I think that that's the best thing. If you're doing something else in another subject, I think it's good to it gives the course a bit more of a holistic approach rather than oh yeah this lecturer does this one does that and nothing joins up. So yeah, no, I really love that. That's a good idea. I think. Yeah, do it. Go for it. Yeah. So doing it in AutoCAD, you did that other little sketch in Revit. Am I right? You said. Yeah. Yeah. Mm. Mm. Yeah, it's I mean that's pretty much floor plan done anyway. Yeah, well, look, that's true. Elevations for the kitchen. Look, I mean, when you're doing Revit and you're trying to work out the elevations for the kitchen, that usually means that you probably downloaded a kitchen from somewhere and just took an elevation review, and that's done. So this subject will be finished in no time if you're doing Revit. So learning, I suppose, those techniques to do that in 2D environment is a different ball game. So yeah, it'd be good to have a go at AutoCAD while AutoCAD is still alive and used out there. But that's the reason you're learning it, I suppose. Yeah. Good. Okay. So if you want to do some other kitchen, that's fine. Yeah. All right. Okay. So there's an option four, three. Yeah, I've got option three. Option three, do your own kitchen, and you can use. I suppose if that's the case, you probably need to start off with a blank one, because it'll be different. Unless you can put your kitchen in my little house, that's fine as well. That's fine. Yeah. So no problems. Okay, so I suppose with your little kitchens, again, it's just a little corner. You don't know what's happening for the rest of the space. Yeah, yeah, sure, yeah. Okay, easy. All right, I'm guessing I'm going to go with option two in the classroom because option one really these little short videos down here well, they're up there somewhere will cover how to do it using those examples that we gave you previously in other semesters. So yeah, so I'm gonna go with that if that's all right with everyone. I'm hoping. Yeah. All right, so that's that. So really, the way this little page works is, yeah, it's a little bit. When I picked it up, it was a bit confusing because, I'm looking at it and it says, okay, do this, that. That's what we're going to do. That's a procedure document, and then there's some videos about something. Really, the procedure says open up something, and that something is way down here. So I think they've just been put in the wrong spot, but that's all right. So yeah, I'm going to download this file here, and we're going to go with that. So the blocks, kitchen blocks are here. So we can download them. And there's a thing called plot style, but don't get too hang about this one. We might not even use it. Formatting paper space. This is another video about how to put your drawing onto a sheet, basically, but we'll cover that in the daily videos anyway. You submit right here. When are we submitting? Well, let's have a look at that as well. Let's start here, I think. Learning schedule. And if we go down here, we've got session 5. So preliminary due in session 10. So it's a little preliminary hand up for this, but the final submission is session 15. Session 10 is just after the break, due by 5 p.m. today. And those of you there in the class, I'll just have a look at it on your screen and say, yeah, it looks all right, or whatever. I give you a bit of verbal feedback. And for those of you that are online, just email it to me and I'll send you some feedback that way. All right, all being well. All right, so today we here and we're gonna basically set up our layers, our limits, download the required files, get going basically. Check the textiles and dimensions, yes, all that. All right, so let's have a look at that. Let's go back to this. I'm going to download the not the learn over here, assessment task. Download the procedure document, this one, and then we're going to download, down past these things here. Download the template. In my case, is this one. If you're doing your own kitchen, maybe go for option 1. But this option 2 will add a different complexity to the way you create your dimensions because there's a lot of other stuff around it. Whereas if you're just doing a little kitchen in the corner, it's not as bad. There's nothing around it to worry about. So that's the that one. Drawing set. Where are we? That's the plans. And yeah, total block don't have to worry about yet. The blocks we don't really have to worry about yet, but if you download them, you can just see if they work. Yeah, you click that and it says download the folder. Yeah, and we'll have a look at the procedure document and see what it says. I don't think this one says anything about specifically where to put them. Start AutoCAD, whatever. New tab is okay. So this is interesting. I didn't manage to read this one out. I found it a little confusing as well because it says start your AutoCAD, close all open files, and start a new drawing, or you can type that. That's not so true because it's not starting a new drawing. We already just told you to download one, right? And then, so I've got to get rid of that. So there's another little fine tuning there. But then it says open the drawing finally. So I don't know why we want to start a new drawing. We just want to open. But ignore this, ignore that. I mean, start AutoCAD, of course, but ignore that. Just come down here, open an existing drawing. So you go through here, and then you open in the first option is the kitchen 19. In the second option will be this one here. I've called that one house plan for kitchen design start, and I put brackets option 2 version 1. So that's the one that's called the little house. It's a little unit. So I'm going to copy this from my downloads and I'm going to put it in my working folder. In my case, it's here under this unit, and I'm going to call it. So it'll be in my semester 2019 semester 2 folder. It's creating a bit of an organizational folder there, and I'm going to put it in here, and perhaps I'm going to put my blocks in here so I can create a new folder. Call it blocks, call it block library, call it whatever you want. I don't think we'll have any stipulations in these instructions unless you've seen some. Don't remember seeing any, so I'll call it blocks perhaps. If you're using obviously Revit, we call it families. It's a similar thing. So yeah, so now I am suggesting you call it your first name, second name, but you can also call it whatever it is, kitchen design and your initials. However you want to call it, just put something in there, whether it's prefix or suffix. I'm not really worried how you call it. I just like to have the first and second name in there because I can tell who they are easily rather than initials. And it's meaningless after a few years if I come back and have a look. Oh, yeah, who was that? All right. Yes, and of course, always keep a number of backup copies. I think we've been saying that all along. In different places, if need be, email it to yourself. It's an offsite backup. you hate to lose this, and I will hate you to lose it. All right, and then we're going to go along and create some layers, which are these are here, and I'll talk about them a bit. All right, so let's here for me, I'm just going to actually, instead of opening it and saving it as, I'm just going to rename it here, and right now. I'm just going to call it Cilio, and it's going to be house plan for kitchen design, and I'm just going to get rid of the rest of the stuff for now. It's a bit too long, and actually, what I'm going to do is put in the date today. I might just keep versions as each week goes by. So I'm going to 2019 08 29. So that's today's version. The blocks are going to go in here, don't they? So have I downloaded them? Probably not. Let's download the blocks, download the folder. And you must, imperative, you must unzip the blocks for them to work in AutoCAD. You can't drag them into AutoCAD or open them from a zip file. So you need to go to the zip file, double click on there, blocks for kitchen design, okay. Just open up that folder and just put them. There's a what's in here? There's a fridge. There is another A3 metric in there, but I'm not sure whether that's the same. I don't think. Yeah, we'll see how we go with that when we come to it. That's the title block. But anyway, copy it all as is. So I'll just Control C. Then I'll go back to here and Control V. See how we go. As you can see, the blocks are just a normal drawing. It's got the same file name, so it's just a small drawing, really. It's not as complex as a big house plan, for example. But you can open them up and have a look at them as you wish. It's not a problem. And you can modify them, of course, once you're in there that way. So if you, those of you that have talked about modifying stuff, if you want to, I mean, for example, this is a fridge. You'll go, one way of doing it will be to open, let me go back, current open, oops. It will be to go to here, go to your semester, whatever it is, blocks, find the fridge plan or elevation, whichever one you want to change. Suppose I want to change that. You open it up and say, okay, there's my fridge. It's 700 watt now, and make it 600. You just have to move those lines in. The one thing you've got to be careful of is where the fridge is hanging off when you bring it in. So where's its base point? When blocks come in, they're coming hooked onto the crosshair. And we don't know where this one is unless I bring one in. I don't know where it is. The only way to find out is to type in this command, base. Base. We haven't covered base, but apparently base is at 8433,5628. How do I find out where that is? I'm guessing the base will be either this corner or that corner. I doubt it will be the top of the fridge. So I'll tell you another command we haven't covered. ID, not interior design. ID is in identify. All right. And you can sort of change that ID, and you click on a corner that you think it is. Okay, then I go F2, and I can see both that number and the other number. And bingo, I guessed it already. That's the one. So that's the bottom left is where it's going to come in from. So what I'm saying is, if that's the case, then if you want to make it narrower by 100, you can use the stretch command, for example. If I go here, you can use the stretch command. I would not use the stretch command from this side and make it 100 millimeters that way, because then when you bring it in, it'll be your crosshair over here and the fridge will be coming in, and you won't be able to sort of put it in the corner easily. You can put it down and then move it. That's not a problem. But in that case, I will make it narrower from the other end rather than the end that it's hooked onto the crosshair. I'll go to stretch. So you measure it first. You say, okay, my fridge currently is 700. There you go. I want a 600 fridge. So we'll stretch and make it 100 less, for example. and you might want to then go file save as rather than stuffing up the other one, and call it, fridge 600, different name, bring that one in. All right. There's a quick overview of how you could do that. Similar with plan views, I suppose. All right. I won't do it on that for now. I will open up that one I'm going to be using here. Now, for those of you that are doing your own thing, feel free to start it here if you want, or you can treat this as your activity time, practice time, and then do the thing at your own time another time. Or today, if you're not ready to start that, if you wish to do it in the classroom, you can just follow along today with me, and then next week bring along your one that you want to keep working with. All right. So either way, I've got to explain the procedure of how we're going to go about doing this kitchen. And that, of course, we've got people listening from building and construction as well, not just interior design. So, this is the way I'm treating this, and I will open up this little thing here, the actual drawing, which is this one here. Okay, so the way I'm treating this is that, your client came along and said, okay, well, I got this design of the house layout, and you're the interior designer, and you now need to actually design the actual kitchen, knowing what you know from other subjects, and where the fridge should be, where the most ergonomic places is to put the drawer, and all that sort of stuff, where the microwave goes, all that sort of thing. You need to now come up with a design. Now, for this, we're giving you what it's got to look like. You just now got to prove that you know how to draw it. For those of you doing your own thing, you designed the whole thing from scratch, really, which is even better. All right. So, but for the people that are, say, from building and construction side of things, it might be that you are the constructor of this, or you're a joiner, cabinet maker, and you are sometimes, most times probably, are the one that's actually designing it on the fly and actually sort of building it as well, because sometimes a lot of times people want a new kitchen, they just sort of go to the cabinet maker and say, hey, I want another one. What do you think? Hey, you'll put the stove over there, put this over here. And they work it out in their own office, whether they sketch it on a bit of paper or they do CAD, who knows. But if they're doing CAD, then this is the way they will be doing it as well. So this sort of covers both, really. All right, so now the plan has come through, and already the building designer has worked out the area or the footprint of where the kitchen is going to go. We just got to detail it a lot better than that, put the overhead cupboards and work out exactly where everything's going to go, the sink there, for example. One thing that's not quite right with this plan, though, as opposed to the one that was given to us, is that now there has been a change in the size of the window for a start, and this door is not exactly the same. This distance is a little bit bigger than what's been given, but this distance here does not really worry us. I'll tell you what I mean. So we don't really have to worry about what the door is as much. It's close enough. I mean, 70 mil is not going to make a difference. All right. Okay. So this is the floor plan. If I just swing it around, maybe. All right. So we have been given some dimensions for this, and that's great. Except this dimension really has been given to us only for the reasons that we will know where that wall finishes. And I'm guessing there's a door over here. There might not be one in this situation. So I really don't need that dimension anyway. But if you wanted to make the door that far away from that window, we can do that as well later. All right. So what the first thing that the actual thing tells us, the instructions, is to go and make a block of this window that we're going to use. So you'll be an opportunity to replace the other window with this window anyway, and get the window fixed up first up for the client, and then we can work out where the sink will go in relation to the window and that sort of thing, and start building it up. All right. However, after we do that, we need to go back and create some layers to put the window in, and well, there are some layers already there, but we need some additional layers which are listed in the document. So let's have a look. And these are all open in here. Keep looking for PDF reader, but we haven't got one. It's all in the web. All right. So then we're going to do these layers here. All right. All right. So let's have a look. After we, does it say to do that? I thought it did first up. Okay. Well, let's do the layers. I think the next, because it says to somewhere in here it says to go off and do the do that window, and we'll just follow it through and see when we come to it. All right. So basically, we've opened this up. We saved it. Whatever. The next thing is just create layers. Open the layers properties. So let's do that first. New layers. That's how you do it. That's a button you press. And then we'll create some layers for appliances. Our datum line, which basically the datum line will be your floor and ceiling level in elevation review, probably. Dimensions, you know what that is. Glazing, yeah, hatching, all this other stuff here. All right, so some layers are non-printable, I notice. Reference lines, so it'd be like construction lines, I'd say. So you set them as non-printable. Viewport is not printable. Yeah, and some elevation layers. And there will be some layers, if you're using the drawing I'm using, there will be some layers in there as well that have come already with this drawing. And here they are. So the blank one will have just a 0. This one obviously has a few layers already in here. And if you've got a window layer already, then you've done well. They've got for the windows, they've still got a window layer anyway, so it's all good. It's the same. The color is white, but I've got a color purple. But hey, what have I got a color purple? Have I? Why did I do that? 212 is sort of a purplish color. All right, so yeah, well, they've got a color white. Now let's have a look at that. What did they say white? All right. Well, they said white. I'm guessing because they've got a color. They've got a color to number to line weight chart here, which says basically says to AutoCAD when you see a color white, go and print it in 0.25 thickness. Okay. I'm not even sure that a lot of the windows are actually done in 0.18, but 2.5 is fine. So what we have here is some sort of a correlation between the number, like the color number, because even though there's some names here, there's actually a number that we're looking at, the color number, with the line weight. So how thick that line work should be. All right. So and that's so we can produce a nice technical drawing output at the end of this. I mean, AutoCAD has these pretty colors, but at the end of it, we just print it in black and white in this instance. All right. So so there is some way of telling AutoCAD what it is, and so basically that here that file that we're looking at. Let me go back. So this ABS file here that I was talking about before, it is the file that has that information in. This file here has this table. Has this table in it. So when you're about to plot, if you tell the plot dialog box, use the ABS color table. That's what CTB stands for, abs.ctb. Does anyone know what ABS stands for? Excellent. Advanced Building Studies. So we use that around many different units, subjects, right? So Advanced Building Studies is what we're in here. Includes interior design, includes building design, certificate for whatever. So so basically, if you use the abs.ctb color table, it'll use this thing here to assign a line weight at the time of printing, and that's how you can get your line weights. One way of getting your line weights onto the sheet. All right. So I'm not sure if you exactly know what line weight is, but in here, if I have a look at my layers, I've actually also given a line weight under the line weight column of each layer here. So we can maybe able to see what that is if I choose one thing here, which is to turn on this line weight display button, which I managed to turn on from this set of um, tools here. There's a thing called line weight. So I turned it on. It's visible in the status bar. Now I'm going to activate it, and you see what happens when I activated it. Watch. See what happened to the red line? So when I print this out, that would be what's going to happen. The red line here is the wall brick, and the wall brick says that it should be 0.35 thick when it prints out. Right? Now you might actually ask yourself now, if we have this method of printing here, why do we need the abs.ctb file? All right. Now, the other thing that's in the abs.ctb is that it's restricted to the first about 9 colors. In fact, there's about 255 colors you can use. So you can see here I've actually used for window, I use color 212. I use color 42 for joinery. I can use any color I like. In fact, I could make them all red, for example, and give them all different line weights. Now, it would be silly for me to do that because I want to be able to make sure I've put, the wall in the right group. So the reason I've got different colors here, so I can immediately look at it and say, okay, right, the green stuff is here is the timber, and the red stuff is the brick. So it's a way of me knowing. So it would be silly for me to make them all red, but it is possible with this system to make them all the same color, a bit like Revit does. Right? Revit's all black and white, or just black, and somehow it gets the thickness sorted at the end of it. Eh? That's how they do it. It's got a table somewhere that also says, the wall shall be this thickness, for example. All right. So in AutoCAD, the table is right here in front of us, so we can control it right away. All right. So the other thing that it does is quite often, as you can see my screen here, I'm working in a white background screen. Quite often, and I'll have a look at that right away for you, just to back that up. Quite often the yellow is used for 0.35. So to make my bricks 0.35, the red bricks 0.35, I have no choice but to use the yellow. And you have no choice but not be able to see it on the screen. Because yellow and white does not work. All right. So by not using this and actually doing it the other way, you are free to use any color you like, as long, and then you can assign a pen thickness as you wish. So for that reason, I'm going to use the line weights on here and not the ABS. A word of warning though, if you decide to put line weights here, and then when you go to print this, for example, when you go to print, and I'll do that now, I go to print. I'm telling you this a little bit up front for now, and it's a lot, but I'll tell you this at the end as well. All right, if you go to print here, and you want to utilize the line weights in your layers, right? What you got to do is pick up here a color table that comes with AutoCAD, and everybody has it. Now, not everybody has ABS. You have to specially copy it in there. But everybody has the monochrome. Comes with AutoCAD. Right? So monochrome means black and white. Yeah, assign it to everything. All right. So what this does is it says every color shall be printed in black. But it does not control the line weight. What this says is, I'll show you what it says. If I pick up color red, for example, here, the top one, line weight, use object line weight. All right, go to the layer and check. All right, if it's red, check what line weight they're giving it in the layer, basically. All right. So in other words, I can have five reds in my layer dialog box, and it doesn't matter. It will actually just use the layer line weight, basically the layer line weight. What they've done with the ABS, they went and said, no, red, okay, so red, 0.18. What they've done is said, no, I'm going to force you, like every time you have a red, oops, on the wrong spot, every time you have a red, it shall be 0.18. If I do that, then everything will turn out in 0.18 regardless. Right? So we won't do that, of course. We'll just cancel that. Do you want to save the changes? No. All right. So yeah, use the monochrome, and you can control it by the layer dialog box, or use the ABS, and you must stick to that color chart that's in your guide. Okay. I don't mind how you do it, as long as it comes out, as long as the wool comes out 0.35 or whatever. I don't mind how you do it. Okay. And in the industry, you'll find both ways being used. The more modern practices will have the one in the layers. The ones that have been around forever and never changed will have the ABS style way of working. All right. So there you go. A bit of background there. All right. So that's that. So okay. So now having said that, we can still, if you want to not conform to, I suppose, the ABS style stuff, and you want to have a guide as to what things should be, you can still use this, all right, by trying to mix this with this and work out. All right, so here, for example, I've got to do let's just use the window. I've got to do a window. It says here it should be white, okay, but I don't really like white for window. But they're intending the window to come out a certain thickness. Okay, let me just check what thickness they were intending. Okay, white. They're intending the window to be 0.25. Okay, well, I hate white for windows. I want to go for burgundy color, and I just want to make sure I set my line weight to 0.25 then, and then it'll be right. And I am the same here because I'm doing the interior design here. When I first did my windows, I thought there should be 0.18, but this document says it should be 0.25, so I'm going to have to change as well. So I'm going to go here. All right, window 212. I said 0.18. I was wrong. Let's change it to 0.25. Okay, so now I'm conforming to that document. My window will come out 0.25. Great. I don't care what the 212 color looks like in AutoCAD, because when you print it off, and you may be thinking at this point, what is he talking about? As you always do. Right? What is he talking about, black and white? This is in color, right? In fact, no, we'll be printing it in black and white. This is just to show you what it would look like if you're doing it in AutoCAD. There are some example files, I think. There should be, I think this one's here. Let me just double check. No, sorry. I think it does. It's got a disclaimer somewhere that it'll be black and white when it prints out. I'm not sure if I found or downloaded those myself. I thought I did. I'll just have a quick example sheet. I'm not sure if they're in black and white. Oh no, they're in color still. Sorry. It will be in black and white though when we print it out ourselves, because we're going to use that monochrome or the ABS. All right. You might wonder what the mechanism is though of making it black, and I didn't show you that. I'm going to type in plot, bring that up. Monochrome. If I go here in customizing it, see here it says go to color black. That's what makes it become black. Yellow, go black. Green, black. That's all it is. So you could, for example, free up one color. If you say, oh, color 10, look, make that one stay as it was, use object color, whatever it is on the screen. So you could change or make your own color tables if you want to, but why bother even having color table? Well, you could. Actually, you don't need to worry about that. I'll explain a little bit about that later, or maybe now. I'd say no. You don't actually need to worry about it. I'll tell you what you can do. I'll tell you a little trick here, what you can do if you wanted to introduce a little bit of color on your black and white floor plan. All right, this is what you do. You, for example, even the gray. So if you want your floor outline, this is a typical thing. If you wanted something gray and you got that black way of doing it, color 8 will also go to black. So your gray color that looks gray, you think is going to come out gray, will come out black. So let me tell you a little trick of how to fix that. You go to your color here, and it says it's color 8, which is this one here, right? Color 8 is sort of displayed there. See that? I'm going to go over it, all right? From here down, they've also got a name down here, but generally it's just a number 8. There you go, all right? So you put it on color 8, yes, okay, but then what you do is click true color, all right? And it gives you that. And all you do is just go okay. It's assigned 128, 128, 128 there. So anything under the true color, you know how I said to you, everything goes to black, all right? That is only true for any color you pick from the index color tab. Any color you pick from true color or color books does not get affected by those color tables, that monochrome thing, or the ABS. Then now you've got a choice. You can, so you can, like throw a bit of color, special color into something if you need. It'll come out color if it's color printer. Yes, yes. So you've seen all those black and white pictures with the red rose. Yeah, same idea. It's a little color, splash of color. Yeah. And that you can obviously use that technique for example, shading your your floor or something, or your if you have spaces that are zoning different bedrooms and whatever you want to do, you have a hatching those floors in different colors, bench tops or whatever. You might want to throw some color on it. All right, excellent. Confusion plus. Any questions? Great. You want to start? Yes. All right. Okay, so let's do that. All right, so we'll go here, and we'll go here, sorry, here. So the layers we're going to create are these appliances. So let's do that. You can actually probably copy from here if you want, and just go through the painful way of doing it, which is basically clicking the this button here, and Control V, appliances, and then you can click this again and go and find the next one. I might just create the names. I don't know. What should? No, I may as well finish it off as we're going rather than keep going. So that's color 8 apparently, which is gray. Appliances is color 8, which is, oh, look at that. Because the previous one was 128, 128. Everything's going to come out like that now. So for me, I better change it back to color 8 because it's supposed to be there. I think I've done. Yeah, a few of them come up like that now, so apologies. Back to 8, and this new one I got ready to change later. It's come up the same, so it just defaults to the previous settings. That's all. All right, so let's go with appliances. All right, so it's color 8. Well, I'm not too worried. Color 8. It says 0.18. I don't know. It's color 8. Color 8, which is the light, this one here. Oh, it says color 8 should be 0.13, it says, right? So, okay, let's go to that, 0.13. Very thin line weight, eh? 0.13. There you go. That's good. So, I've got a floor outline here that's 0.18, which is fine. I don't have to worry about that. This is what came. I'm not going to use the ABS, so I'm okay to have another color 8, but this one's going to be 0.18. That's fine. But the appliances, they wanted them to be 0.13, so fine, whatever. You can have that. Then we got datum, that's white apparently, and he wants a particular line type as well. All right. So I created that already, that layer one. I have to click one more time and then I can't override it. And datum line is going to be white. It's just black and white case. Okay, that. And if it's white, I think that's 0.25. I'm still remembering what they were now. 0.25. Okay. Now you're sitting here and you're doing all this stuff and you're thinking, really? We don't have to do that with Revit. The reality is that if you're working somewhere, they will have this already set up for you. When you open up your template file, it'll be already in there. And pretty much after you finish this project, you can erase everything that's in it, save it as your template, and then you've got everything there for next time you do your next project. Right? That's how templates are basically created. All right, so done. And that should be an ACAT underscore ISO, whatever that is. I never use those line types, but let's have a look. Is there one here? No. Load. So you got load. So what I did is for the line type for that datum, I click on the continuous, and I went. That name is not there, so I'll go load, and it's one of these ACAT something or other. They all look the same. ISO 08W100. ISO 08W100. Must be that one. Long dash, short dash. Cute. That one. All right. Okay. Now, because I did that, all it did, he just brought it in here, but he did not assign it. So I need to actually click on it to get assigned to it. So then I go OK, and there it is. It's in there. This is going to take me all the lesson to do all this. Dimensions. I've got dimensions ready. Oh, no, I haven't. Here we go. Dimensions. Dimensions are red apparently, so I'm going to click on this thing here, V, and I'm going to go red. Red. Okay, why are they red? They're red because they're going to be 1.18 thickness. Okay, 0.18, sorry. But look at that. Be careful because it's given me now that line type for the next one as well. So you've got to go back and set this one back to continuous, which is there, and 0.18 apparently. Now I know I'm sticking to the colors that they are talking about there, but if I find one that I don't like, I can easily change it. If it doesn't look right on my screen or my eyes don't like it, I can easily change it later to whatever color. As long as I don't muck around with the line weight, everything will be fine when I print it. Okay. If I come across a yellow, I certainly will change it because you can't see yellow on there. Let's have a look. Is there any yellows? Yes, there's a joinery section. Yeah, so that won't be happening in my case. All right, so glazing. Look at that. We've got glazing. We've got appliances. So the glazing and the appliances are the same color. Is it likely that they'll get confused? Probably not. So otherwise, I was going to change the color, but it should be all right. So glazing. It's okay. It's gray and okay, and we know the gray is is it 0.18 or point? Oh goodness, 0.13, isn't it? 0.13. That's the intention. And hatching. We've got no hatching in here. So it's color 9. It's like a light gray. Probably. So color 9. I think this lesson will just be taken to just create all this. Okay, so that. And what's color 9 out of interest, anyone? Does anyone know? 0.05, my goodness. 0.05, that's like splitting hairs, isn't it? Like, I mean, a hair is probably wider than that line. Oh, 0.05. The reality is that in the days that we used to draw by hand, there was no such thing as such a thin line. You couldn't get a pen that thin. The thinnest pen you could get was 0.13. Interesting, talking about pens as well, and I think I might have mentioned this before. I'm not sure, maybe not, maybe it's another class. But humans are like that. When they transition from something, they try to keep it the same as before. And when we transition from manual drafting to CAD, we brought these things along. We brought the yellow as 0.35 because the pen, the rotring pen, that's a brand of pen that we used back then, a technical pen. It had a yellow ring on it for the 0.35, and I think a yellow nib as well. So people that were used to picking up the yellow, sorry, the yellow pen as such, to do a 0.35 pen, all of a sudden wanted to see yellow lines in AutoCAD for things that were going to turn out to be 0.35 when they printed them out. And that's the sole reason someone picked these colors up um, in the main. So that's what I'm saying is we've been doing stuff for 3 decades and nobody's questioned why. And there's no real reason why you have to keep doing that. There's no reason anymore. You can break free, go. All right, so let's have a look. Where were we? All right, so I was creating layers here, and you are probably all finished. If you're finished and you're waiting for me, go and take a longer break. All right, so I want to catch up to you. All right, so go for it. I'm very far away. All right, so we've got hatching. Where are we here? I've done hatching. Hidden, I haven't done. I'm going to go new. Okay, Control V. Hidden is 8. I should pick up some speed very soon. Okay, so 8. I'm sort of learning this stuff here. What's 8? Still learning it, see? 8 is on top. No, 8 is here. 0.13. 0.13. And then over here, we've got joinery. Oh, that's dashed as well. Dash 2. Anybody notice that? That's dash 2. So dash 2 is not there, so I've got to load and go down here. Now, when I'm loading dashes like that, like dash dot or dashed or whatever, there's 3 different versions of those. I usually bring them all in because sometimes I need to, when I look at it, okay, the dash, oh, that's dashed actually. Yeah, it is dashed. So sometimes there's a normal dash, which is just average dash length, and then there's a half size dash, and then there's a double size dash. So sometimes I know they told us that now, and we know that's probably going to be okay. But if you're doing it yourself and you say, I want a dashed line, a dash looking line, bring all 3 of them in because you might find that one suits better than the other, and at least you've got them all in there loaded, and you can go and just easily change it later. So I'm going to bring them all in, and the one I want is dash 2, he said. Let's do that. Make sure you don't get the dash X2, okay? So now I've assigned that, right? Nothing, it does not matter if you have 2 or 3 layers with the same color. I've got like a few 8s. I've got 4 8s here, I think, already. It does not matter. It just means the way I look at it is that, okay, this one here is actually got a dashed line type. So I'm not going to confuse the hidden one, which is gray, with this, with this glazing one, which is continuous anyway, even if they were next to each other. But the glazing one is probably, I'm guessing, on an elevation review, perhaps, I'm not sure, on the cupboard doors, I'm guessing. I don't know where it is. It might be that it's not drawn next to it. So, yeah, it's not a problem. But again, the system I'm giving you, or I'm telling you about, if you're not going to use the ABS thing, you can choose to change them. If you find that you're drawing 2 elements that are both color 8, but they need to be in different layers next to each other, you might change one color, and it's not going to affect anything. It'll be easier for you to group your layers better without making mistakes. Does anyone know why we have layers to start off with? Can you guess why we need to have different layers? Right? Okay. Well, one reason is so we can turn things on and off. So you can have a furniture layout, for example, in this little floor plan here. Let me just, for example, in here we could have the furniture layout. We could also have the electrical layout on top of this, all in different layers, all right? So we have elect lights, elect switches, elect wires, okay? We could have other layers that are, for example, furniture all in one, or you could have furniture dash chair, furniture dash sofa, whatever you want to break it down as much as you like. So when it comes to then creating a construction drawing with dimensions to build it, you don't give them the furniture. But for when you want to have the fit out and you want to know where the furniture goes, you create another plan with the walls plus the furniture. But also we have layers because for different layers, we want to give it a different line weight, which is what we've been doing right now. Right? And we also want to have different layers and perhaps give it different colors I suppose for our ergonomics, for better viewing on the screen, and you can adjust the color to what you like. And that's the thing that I suppose gives you the freedom here by not using the ABS, because you're able to then customize these colors to whatever you want, and the output will be exactly the same. As long as you get this right, no one cares what the color looks like. No one's going to see the color except for you. Okay? Easy. All right, so let's keep going with that. What was the last one I did? Hidden, I think. So let's go here. Joinery elevation. I'll need a bit later. So let's go new. By the way, I picked something else up with these floor plans these plans that I'm not really 100% happy with, and I want to explain that to be honest and upfront with you. And that's the elevation ones, and I'll tell you what that is in a minute once I finish this. What's magenta, anyone? Magenta is 6. It's okay. It is 6. Yes, it's 0.25. It's already 0.25. Oh no, yes, it is. Great. Okay, so that's the default. That's great. Now let me just show you this other thing here. Find the elevation. No, we haven't got an elevation there. No. Where's the elevations? Up. Here. Okay, so here's an elevation. Look at this here. Another great yellow. This here is, for me, is not really an elevation. Mainly it is, but there's a bit of this elevation that is actually in section. They've cut the cupboard away and we're seeing it in sectional view, right? So they just chopped it, so we're just looking at the structure of it. So for me, this is actually a sectional elevation. It's not a true elevation, because then this cupboard should be able to see it in outline. And I think if I look at the floor plan over here, if I was to look at this way and then look at the elevation, the other elevation, which is looking at the microwave, this one here, there's a cupboard that, if I was looking at it from this end, there's a cupboard that goes all the way up on this side, is all filled. So really, this one here, if I was gonna be looking at it from not a sectional view, I would just see something that goes all the way up here, and this thing here will be behind that. So this is a sectional elevation. It's just a labeling issue more than anything else. Yeah, in the floor plan, on the floor plan. Yeah, let's have a look what that does. Yeah. Where's my floor plan gone? Have I got it open? No, I haven't. Oh, here it is. Yeah, this one here. Yeah. Yeah. I got you now. Yeah. No, that there is mainly just where they put it, so you can know. For me, that's not what that is. That's yeah. I mean, if that's the case, yeah, they probably have cut it through about here. But if it was generally, and these are not exactly. If you put these ones here, they're just elevational, or it's just an elevational indicating where you're looking and what the number of the elevation is. If you were to have a section, it would be, you have to draw like I think they took it through. I don't know, maybe through here. It might be through here, and it is correlating almost to that. I get what you're saying. And the other one is through here as well. But this one here, yeah, it's not going like it wasn't. The other one is not going through the window, which this may just maybe go through the window. Um, so yeah, the way I know it is that it's just an elevational symbol. That's what it is. But they have taken the liberty of cutting that through here and not showing us what that looks like from this end. Probably because they wanted to show the overhead cupboards, which is fine. But then there isn't really a symbol that you can put in there that says it's a section or elevation that I know of. I mean, you either have a section or you have an elevation. This is a bit of both. Yeah. Yeah, if it's proper elevation, you can imagine this thing here is all the way down in here, and you're looking at from the end. You're looking at that from the end because that's if you're standing in the room around here, you just see looking at front on, you will see that panel, and you won't see that. It'll be behind it. Yeah. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, it's interesting stuff, but yeah. All right. So I just thought I'll just tell you that, and maybe when I come to actually, how did I come to this? All right. When I come to actually labeling, maybe I remember to label it properly. Where's my layers gone now? I lost everything. Okay. I had the procedure open. Here it is. All right. Okay. So here's the layers. I should have had one that I prepared a bit earlier. Hey. All right. What? Yeah. Maybe someone can call them out for me. What's the color for this? I keep going back and forth. Yellow. Okay. Well, yellow. I'm not going to do. What is it? Joinery section. Maybe I'll just pick up a brown. Let's see how they look. I don't know. Joinery section. Maybe this one. Okay. I mean, I can change it later. Hey. What color is a yellow? 0.35. I should know that. 0.35. 0.35. Easy. All right. So then reference line is -2 and doesn't print apparently. How do we make it not print? Color 30 even. Ooh, they're getting a bit risky there. Color 30. Wow. That's really going out of the first few colors. Where do I find color 30? I just know that this one's here go by tens. 10, 20, 30. That one there. Yeah, sort of that color. Yeah. Would say yeah. It's orange. Yes, correct. So that's what does it say? So what thickness is that? Orange color. Ah, no orange. What does that mean? Well, who cares, eh? I mean, it says it's not printable anyway. So, okay, so not printable. So that means you got to go and find this little printer next to the color and put a little click on it, and it makes it not printable. But I got to. Why are we doing this? Reference line. Why do I need that if you're not going to print it anyway? Dash dash two. Okay. Remember I had one of those before. Yeah, -2. So I don't have to load it. It's there. Excellent. All right. The things that lecturers get you to do, it's amazing, isn't it? Symbols. All the symbols have got to go under there, so they're going to be white. Okay, fine. New color, new layer. Symbols are going to be white. Ah, look at that. Be careful because now every layer I create is going to be non-printable. So make sure you take that little thing off. And if you have done this already, go back and check that things are okay. What do we say? Color is it 0.25? 0.25, isn't it? The color white. I'm learning it, so 0.25. Good. And text is going to be white as well. That's great because hopefully it will default to everything the same. But the dash. Oh goodness, I forgot the dash. That should be continued. This is terrible. This is going to take us forever. Continues, yes. So you've got to watch that because it makes it the same as the one before, you know. Next, tile lines. Okay, tile lines are going to be Control V, and they're going to be color 8. Okay, I already got some floor layer here, floor outline. All right, yeah. Yes, floor outline. Okay. Now, can I just talk to you about these tile lines? If you notice here, I've got a layer called floor outline, and that's basically where I draw a difference in different materials along the floor, whether it's carpet, tiles, or whatever. Separator, it's like a separator. So you might have noticed that I have a bit of a structure to my layering system, and by no means are we suggesting use mine or whatever is listed in this document here I'm doing now. But what I want to tell you is that try and have some logic to your layer naming, some grouping. For example, I like to group all my wall types together. So I have wall brick, wall stud, wall timber, wall block, whatever type of wall hebrew, whatever material you're using. And then you have all your roof layers, maybe roof rafters, roof beams, whatever. And then you have, yeah, so that's the way I sort of do it. So my floor, I would have probably liked to have called that floor tiles rather than tile lines. And because then when you want to turn off all your floor stuff, or your wall stuff, or your ceiling stuff, or your roof stuff, it's all in alphabetical order next to each other, and it's easy to turn it off. So I'm not fast what you call your layers, and you're going to have to create more layers than these as moving along, and you can just do your own. So you are on your own, but I'm just giving you some guidelines as to what I think should be done. So yeah, I mean, feel free to change it if you like. I'll probably change mine. So let's go to 8. So that's 8. This one here, and it's continuous. That's great. Okay. So yeah, I'm gonna call it floor. I like dashes. We don't have to dashes. Floor tiles, for example, and that's perfectly fine. No one is going to care. It's your system. It's your office. You do what you wish. However, it makes sense for you, but it has to make sense a little bit to some others as well, because some others will pick up your drawing down the track. So floor tiles was fine as well. Sorry, tile lines was fine. I would have understood what that was. And are they floor tiles though, or just tile lines? Oh, they're not on the floor, are they? So they might not be on the floor. So these might be elevational ones. So in this case, you might have a different system where you have your 11 tiles, right? So it might be an elevational tile. So you might have a whole of 11 layers, 11 tiles, all right? So just giving you some ideas. Doesn't You don't have to stick to any of this. You're not going to get marked in any way on the layers. It's the output. All right, so that's that. Title block, okay, title block, up to you. Call it one word or two words. And it's going to be white. Yes, white's continuous. We're doing well. We're getting there now. And it's 0.25. Is that tiles that I did before should be 0.25? No, is it 0.13? Yes, 0.13. So, you might come back and you would have missed a few or stuffed up a few, you come back and change them. Viewport again is not printable. They've gone for red. Generally in the industry it's not red, but anyway, currently it's a grey, light grey, but that's all right. They want red or red. Sticks out, but that's all right. There's a reason for it. And because it's red, it's going to be what color? Who cares? 0.18 apparently. Who cares? Because it's not going to print anyway. So why are we bothering? Because it said so. All right, so this is not printable. So be careful with your next layer because it's going to be non-printable. Next one you create, it's going to be non-printable. I've got wall. Okay, wall 11 I don't have, so that's fair enough. I'll group my wall. Okay. So I don't have wall 11, and I like that idea. Um, fits in with my system, except my system is different. My system has got a dash in there. I'll put a dash. Or 11, and it's printable, and it's going to be red. Wonderful. And it's going to be 0.18. Excellent. What section? I'm guessing. Oh, it's green. Green, I bet it's 0.5. Yeah, let's see, 0.5. Okay. So let's, because it's a sectional view, we'll cut through it. It makes it a bit thicker so it stands out. So let's go new section, and it's going to be, we said, green, 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 green. This color here. If green doesn't look very well on, and actually doesn't look that good on my white, I'm going to pick a different green, a darker green. Okay, so I'm picking up a different one. Hopefully that'll look all right. If it doesn't, I can just come back and change it later. But it's greenish color. Everyone will be happy. 0.5. Excellent. And last, we got that one already. Okay, so the question I had earlier was doors. See, my doors are not actually blue. They're 162 color, aren't they? So it's not the same as the blue. It's not the same as that blue. Yeah, because the question I had was, your doors are blue, therefore they're going to come out. Should we set them to, what is it? What is it blue? Is it color, color 5? Here, down the bottom. It's 0.7. These are not in order. Why aren't they putting them in order? I must be in the long way order. All right. So that's fine. So yeah, my blue doors are not going to be 0.7 anyway. They look blue, but they're not the color 5 blue. So we're good with that. We don't have to change my doors. We'll be fine. Otherwise, you could, you have to. What I would do if mine was blue, I would go. If this color here happened to be blue, and and I want to have other things that are blue, and I don't want them to be confused, I would just, if that was that color, it was like that, I will probably change it to something else as if I was using that CTB thing, but really it doesn't matter. You can do whatever you like with this. So was it 162? I don't know. Yeah, got it, 162. All right, good. We're done. Now this is a good time to press save. All right. It's a good time to pack up and go home. All right, so let's have a look. Someone gave me a good look there. Are you serious? Yeah, we're not too far off. I mean, 10 minutes away. And we've done nothing. But this is what happens, this preliminary stuff. Stuffing, okay. We've done nothing really. But we've got to set it up. Okay, so the next thing is set the drawing limits. Now the drawing limits should be that apparently. How do you come up with that idea? 15 meters by 9 meters. Well, let's see. If we just type in, let's see, 15 meters by 9 meters. This is a long, big thing. Let's go. We've got to type in limits like that. It says 0 to start with, yes. Okay. So it says 0, 0. Then I press enter, and it says 420, 297. Wow. Does anyone know what size that is? 420 by 297. Sorry? Yeah, perfect. A3, yes, that's an A3. So we have an A3 size area where we can work in here. This is my one. I'm not sure what the other one is though. That anyone downloaded that other one, the blank one? Anyone got the blank one open or not? Yeah, what's your limit? You just type in limits and then press enter. Let's have a look. And then enter. Is it 0, 0 to start with? No. Oh, what is it? Did you change it or not? Oh, it is the same, yes. Okay, so the other, whoever picked up the other one as well is the same. So at least we're doing the same thing, all right? Now you might just say to me now, how did you draw that there without changing your limits to something bigger? I mean, that's only an A3, right? How did you do that? When in our procedures here, we say every time change your limits to something bigger. Well, I've actually my entire life I never changed the limits. I managed to get through. I always fluke things. All right. So, all right. The only reason you want to change your limits is if you have, well, basically, all right. At some stage, when you start drawing something, when you first get a blank drawing, for example, it only has a small space. But if you're drawing a big house, say it's 15 meters by 10 meters, you won't fit on an A3. You know. So, have you ever drawn something and you draw a line, it goes, you know, a big line, it goes off the screen, then and you zoom back so far, and you still can't see it. It doesn't. You have to somehow come out of that and then regenerate. That's what we're trying to avoid by actually setting the limits. All right. I have sort of lied when I said I never set the limits. I do, but not with the limits command. What I do is quite different. Is I draw a rectangle. So my house is going to be, my block is about 50 by 100 meters. I draw a rectangle of 50 by 100 meters, and then I zoom extends, and then it resets the thinking of the computer anyway, and away I go and start drawing. And then I can actually see what that is, what my working space is, and I can draw in it. Limits is just imaginary. It's just still a blank space. You know, it looks the same. So you see in a minute. So yeah. Anyway, you suggest that we do a 15 by 9 meters. Why does it suggest 15 by 9 meters when we've only got a room which is about 4 by 3 meters? I think it's suggesting that because we probably need to copy it across a couple of times and then do elevations, and so that will occupy, you know, a little bigger area. So that's the only thing. Anyway, the thing with this one here, be careful, don't copy this and paste it because there's a space in here which didn't see. So if you copy and paste this, it won't work. So you need to just type in, copy and paste. I mean, copy in 15,000, comma, comma 9,000. Enter. Right. So that hasn't really done anything to actually get the computer to reconfigure the view we have, and this time, because in my case I've got something already drawn in there, you may be able to see roughly what that has done. Let me just try it. That's the first time I'm trying it, so let's see what happens. Z, enter for zoom. Z for zoom, enter. A for all. Enter. Oh, made it worse. I had more space before. All right, so basically, if I move my mouse over here, well, where is it? Zero. I'm looking at the numbers down here. Where's 00? We basically look, so you can see what we've done. I'm going to draw a rectangle from 0, comma 0, all right, to at 15,000. I don't even see what. Oh yeah, comma 9,000. All right. I told her that's the space you should be working in, which quite clearly, I have a different situation here. I need a bit bigger space. So this house alone is 10 meters by 10 meters, and I've got the roof which is a bit bigger. And plus, I started my house up here, and this thing is starting from down here. So even if I was to move that up there, it's not enough. So really, yeah, I probably need a bit more room in this situation. So it doesn't matter what we say there. It's just like you got to think about your own project, and perhaps 30 by 30 meters, 30,000 by 30,000 might have been better for this project, right? And if I had a site plan, even more, because the site might be bigger. And if this is a block of units, it could be that it's been mirrored around a few times and got like 12 units in here. Big site. So it depends what you're doing. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter because you can get around it. It's not the end of the world if your limits are wrong. These were wrong all along, and this house looks perfectly fine. and it works fine. Once you've drawn a line that goes, for example, I'm going to zoom. Let me just do a new drawing for a minute. I'll show you. So I'm going to draw a line from here. I'm going to try this. I'm not sure if it's going to yellow. Why is it yellow? Okay. Who uses yellow? All right. So let's go line from here, and I'm going to go up. Let me go 100 meters like that. I don't know. Now I can't see where the top of the line is. I'm going to zoom out. Let's see if this works. Probably will. No, it doesn't. See, I still can't see the top of the line. I'm panning. I'm stuck now. It won't move. That's it. That's all I can go. That's where we need to pre-plan and know limits. So now I can't see where the line is, so I can't head to the right now, unless I type in some numbers, and then it doesn't matter. I don't have to click. So what are my options now? Is it the end of the world? Never the end of the world. Right? Never. All right. So if I escape, this is what I do. It's a problem, big deal. What you do is just go double click with your middle mouse button, zoom extends. There you go. You got yourself more zooming space. And just so what? You just go line. And here's another trick for you: line, enter, reconnects at the last point automatically. And I can go off. And now, once I've done that, I gave it the perimeter of my building. There's never, I'll never have a problem again. It's fine. It's can work in here. It knows the bounds now. In effect, it's set its own limiter, even though limits, type it up. Oh, this one is bigger. This is 30 meters by 30 meters, but I'm working at 100 meters here by whatever. So I've effectively given it more limits without even typing the limits command. All right. How about that? Now, we probably said way too much. Where were we? This one over here. Let me just click here. All right, so this is my drawing. So I don't care about the limits, whether you type them in or not, really. At the end of the day, you know how to get out of it. Draw a line, it's not there. Just zoom extends, comes back, okay? So that's something I actually have never used myself. All right, so where are we? Oh, let me get rid of this thing. Don't save it. All right, back to this, and we'll just wind down, I think. Okay, so begin the drawing. Perfect. We can begin the drawing. What's this? Download. Already done that. Okay. 3 individual drawings. They're all going to be 1 to 20, by the way, it says eventually. So this is what we're going to do. So come next week. I'm already talking next week. This is what I was getting at. Next week, we're going to draw that window. I knew I had to do something up front. You can go. That's fine. I have to go as well. So we're finishing off now. So that's all good. See ya. Bye-bye. All right. So we're going to finish it off here and begin next week. We're creating that window and we're going to check it into the floor plan when we're ready. I've got a floor plan to check it into. The ones that are starting from scratch, don't have one. But by next week, hopefully you can bring your own examples in. Start with that. And you can do your own windows, like if you've got a different window or no window, doesn't matter, I suppose. Yeah. All right, excellent. All right, thank you guys. We'll see you next week. And have fun, be safe, and see you next week.